I think it's working, maybe? Let's see if people can actually join. I think I'm like 3 minutes early. So let's see what happens. I'm excited, but if this works, it was really easy. I have some strange... Hey! Jim! Hi! My friend, I'm not alone. Thanks for joining. I'm very nervous. As usual, hyped and nervous, which is the story of my life. I hope... hugs to you too. I hope my phone stays where it is, because I've got it kind of weirdly clipped into my tripod. It looks a bit dangerous, but it seems to be working. Also, can you tell me if you can hear the wheezing of my rat? Because he's very ill, and I hope it's not too distracting that he's over there. You can see him look out of his little house there. The poor little sick guy. Good. That's good. Hi! Yay! You guys are joining. I'm so happy. I was very scared that I would just sit here by myself and no one would come. I think I'm gonna wait like 2 or 3 more minutes before actually talking about some stuff, but I see people are joining. Thank you. Also, I'm embracing the 90s emo look today, because it's the second day of what feels like summer, and yes, and I'm embracing autumn, because that's just what I do. I'm an autumn witch, and the summer's already too much for me. So yeah, all the 90s emo look. I hope you guys approve. I could also put my witch hat on, which I have here. I have a few of my College of Wizardry stuff behind me. And I was unpacking my bag finally today, after what, 2 weeks? And it was hard. It was hard. I've got a little box of memorabilia now, which is, you know, that's it. That's a good start. Let's look at some of that stuff, because it's good stuff. I actually got my acceptance letter after I came back, and I thought I wouldn't get it, because when I came home it was nowhere to be found, and only 3 days later did I ask my flatmate, and she told me she had it. So great. And then I've got my name tag, but my little... Hey Emily! Oh, I hope you're feeling okay. You poor sick little thing, but I hope you're better. Hello, Martine! Hi people! So yeah, got my name tag, my pink name tag, and then something my dear drug dealer Molen gave me. Shout out to Misty, who was amazing. I actually loved the thing. She had for those of you who don't know, she had like a string where her bag was attached to, but to the string were all these little bottles with like charmed powder glitter stuff. So aw, Emily, I want to hug you too. I want to hug all of you for being here. I love you so much. Where was I? Oh yeah, so the charm. First of all, I had some... Oh, that's actually a good story. I had some thing in there that she said would give some kicks to a love boat, to a love letter, because she saw me writing some love letters and was like, hey, what you doing there? I was like, what? I'm not doing anything. I'm just sending out some letters, and they're totally not love letters at all. So she was like, oh, but next time you do it, I've got something to give you a bit of a kick for that. And so I put it in a letter and sent it to one of the guys Ollie was interested in, to Gabriel. And Emily, stop! I can't concentrate. So I sent it to Gabriel, and I will make a full video about the whole Gabriel story. But basically, Gabriel von Brandt also had a cousin who was called Owen Brandt. And the goblins kind of mixed up the letters and delivered that letter not to Gabriel, who was meant for, but to Owen. So, hi Elan! Hi, thank you for joining us. So suddenly this guy that Ollie really hated and that was trying to blackmail her, and it was a whole big mess, suddenly was desperate to go to the ball with her, and he wouldn't leave her alone. I like ran across the Knight's Hall, which is the big dining hall, and I like ran around trying to get away from him, but he was on my own love spell, and it was a whole disaster. And then Gabriel actually tried to reverse that, but by reversing it, he made Owen try to kill me right there in the dining hall. Oh, did you mess that up? Ah, yes, then probably. It's your fault. I was almost killed, Elan, in the dining hall, but it was fixed in the end. But yeah, that was yeah, the goblins were kind of chaotic, and I feel like messed up more than one thing probably. But I'm actually really thankful for that, because that was a very funny scene. I mean, I'm kind of interested what would have happened if Gabriel himself opened the letter, but I loved the way it played out. It was actually really cool. And then yeah, oh, the goblin post was, yeah, I of letters. I feel like only one of my letters got messed up, but who knows. So, oh, the goblins were great. I loved them all so much. Phoenix Express. Oh, that sounds way better than Owl Express, to be honest. Phoenix's sound quicker, for sure. But yeah, so the second spell, and that's the one that actually still left in here because I couldn't drink it, was a confidence spell that I took to ask Jay, my lovely gaslighting, abusive asshole vampire friend Jay, who I will also make a video about. But damn, can I wait? Okay, I cannot. How can I go back to messages that have already disappeared? I don't know how this works. So wait for like to get the chat back on. Ah, there we go. How did I let the players know that it was charmed? Well, when I put it in the letter, I had these post-it notes that I used for my Gossip Ghoul rumor kind of stuff, and I just put one of the post-it notes in the envelope and said off game, and then I wrote on it that the green glitter was a love spell, basically. It works really well with a letter. Otherwise, you kind of, if you don't send a letter but like want to slip something in their drink, which I tried but didn't work. But yeah, then you kind of have to make it obvious what it is or tell them off game or something. But with a letter, it actually worked really well because it all stayed fluent and fluent, and you didn't have to break game at all. So yeah, that worked pretty well. So yeah, love spell and confidence spell. Thank you to our personal Molen drug dealer. That was Misty. That was great. Like both these powders, glitter stuff gave me such cool scenes. So thanks for that. But while I'm going to this box, I also got another confidence potion from someone who Ollie had never met before, and that was Thomas, the lovely Thomas, who was also... We had so many drug dealers, especially in Molen. Yeah, I feel like now that people are telling the stories, I'm like, oh, that's how it happened. Like, oh, I saw you there, but I had no idea what was going on. So oh, shoot. Well, I will pick that up later. That was the confidence spell gone. I think it's fine. But yeah, that was... Oh, I'm too excited, always. That was the confidence potion that Thomas gave me, who was not a Molen, but I feel like kind of became an honorary Molen as well in the end, by simply being a drug dealer. Yeah, so what you were saying, like we had for off game, we had the I was the gossip girl, so I was kind of on Choha Book, which is in-game Facebook. I was always spreading rumors and making up lies. And then after game, I did a ranking of like cutest teacher and best fireball player and best ball outfit and stuff like that. And Jim pitched the idea of Molinian most likely to get over the drug addiction. Because our house, I feel like it was proper coincidence. I didn't think people actually talked about that beforehand. But House Molen was... Yeah, we had our monitor, who was the alchemy professor, was a drug dealer, kind of. Our first prefect was a drug addict. We had a girl addicted to... addicted to... love potions. Then my character was enabling that addiction by making love potions. Then we had Misty, who was also kind of a drug addict, and I don't know if anyone else had any drug problems. Hi, girl! My favorite goblin. Hi. Yeah, we love Gil. I will fangirl Gil in a little bit once I've gone through this box, because he deserves a lot of fangirling. But welcome. What was I saying? So yeah, Molinians and drugs, and then Thomas, who was also giving out potions, and he gave me this confidence potions on like the first night, I think, when we were in the necromancy cellar, and I didn't use it at that point, but then I used it the next morning, and I just played by myself. I was in my room, and I was off game for a little bit, I think, and then I was like, no, I need to get back into the game, and I pretended to drink this potion, and then I like manically wrote 3 love letters, or like 2 love letters and a hate letter or something, a screamer to Owen. But yeah, I was like sitting in my room by myself being like, love letters. And then I had the confidence to actually write one to the alchemy professor. And by the way, there's 3 stories that I won't get into too much. These names will plop up because there's no way around it, but I will not talk too much about Jay, the alchemy professor Robin Brooke, and Gabriel von Brandt, because I will go into that. Those are very long stories, and those are like my main plot that I had. So I will not keep this stream full of that, because I want to fangirl everyone else now. They get their own video. Like, I want to fangirl all the other amazing people. So yes, Thomas, also wonderful. Wonderful. What else do I have in this box? Oh yeah, my my watch, that had a kind of in-game background story of her best friend having given this to her and hexed it so that he would know if she got into trouble. I can talk about Ollie and Brooke for hours, but not now. You know I love this story. This is... Wait. No. Okay, I'm kind of... this is how it works. Okay. Brolly. He's not Brolly. Shut it. That's a shipping name. I like Golly and I like Jolly. But yeah, Mrs. Brooke, Professor Olivia Brooke is the shipping name for Robin and Ollie, even though I know that Will, who played Robin Brooke, would not approve of me saying that. But I will, in some parallel universe, you know, they end up married. I just know it. It might never become reality in this universe, but in some, okay. So this watch, yeah, Ollie's in-game best friend, Ash Jones, my lovely Stephen, gave this to her to keep her safe. And it was great to have a watch. but I only had this watch until the ball because someone kind of got physical and ripped it off my chest. I had it around my neck, and Jim kind of ripped it off. And not only that, he also completely ripped off my ring. So we had quite the drama going on. But again, stories that need to be told and done. Tell the story about the wand and Gabriel. Oh yes, okay. This is kind of an off-game story because it's not something that was supposed to happen in-game. At the ball, when we had all the drama going on, I was basically chasing after Jim's character Jay for some very dramatic reasons. And I was running around chasing after him. He would shout at me and then run away again, and it was this whole scene. Then, while I was chasing after him, there was Gabriel standing in the hallway. And because I had some beef with him as well, I thought, you know, just give him a little bump with my shoulder. Just like, just a little notch. Nothing crazy. Just like, you know, make sure I don't like you. The problem with that was, right, I had my wand holster around my chest, like a handbag. Well, somehow my wand got stuck between my chest and his chest, and it like stabbed him proper in the chest, and stabbed me as well. And I was in pain, but I was like, no, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm not gonna break character. It's fine. It's just a bruise. It's just gonna bruise a little bit. And then a bit later, I was sitting outside, and I was like, man, this is burning. Like, this doesn't feel like a bruise. What is this? And then I looked, and it was completely slashed open. I have a cut around like this long on my chest that is just now starting to heal, and it's probably gonna leave a proper scar. But I wanted to scar just because, you know, then people go like, oh, why do you have that big scar on your chest? And I'll be like, well, I went to wizard school and stabbed myself with a wand. What do you do with your life? I feel like it's a battle scar of drama and unrequited love. And no, it was it's a scar I wear with pride, for sure. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I am hardcore. I'm so hardcore that when I went down for the ball, or when I like got dressed for the ball, I said to Ida, who was playing Rowan, another Molen girl, and who I was sharing the room with, I said to her like, oh, I will not be able to wear these shoes for longer than like the first dance, and then I'm going upstairs and changing my shoes again, because I was wearing heels, not very tall heels, but like my feet were hurting already from like running around for 3 days. But instead of changing my shoes, I kept them on the whole night. I danced in these shoes for hours. I ran after Jay in these shoes for I don't know how long, over like gravel and like big stones and like stairs up and down and I don't know where. What is Ollie saying? I stepped in front of you to shield Jim from your regular potion. They're like, you want to fight? Come at me. I can take it. Oh, yeah. People were trying to protect Jay, which I feel like is very unfair. But, you know, it's fine. Whatever. I was the good guy in this situation. Ollie wasn't the good guy in most situations, but in this one, she was not the one who screwed up. I know that now. Yeah, so I kept these shoes on. I'm hardcore. I was actually very surprised by how much this game was able to draw me in. So I forgot about any like physical uncomfort or anything. I got up in the mornings and I was like, oh, I'm dying, I can't move, I can't, I just want to sleep. But like as soon as I was down for breakfast, I was like in character and I was running around and I was totally able to go to PE first thing in the morning, at least on the first day. And like I was up all day and I never really felt tired. I was struggling a lot with like being thirsty and having very dry lips. But that was kind of the only thing I struggled with, because this game was like so fun, so intense and so immersive that I had no space and no time for physical discomfort or for being tired or for my feet hurting. I was just too engaged with the game. So that's what magic does to you. It keeps you alive for a long time. Right. Oh, another cool thing, sleep is for the weak. And I'm totally not weak when I'm at the lab. Otherwise, I sleep all the time. Another cool thing that happened was the dances in the mirror. That was a cool thing that I almost missed, because I was I think it was a Thursday night, yeah. So it was Thursday night. It was kind of getting close to midnight, and I was like, what do I do now? And like all my friends were gone, and I was a bit lost. Wait, what letter? Wait, Jim, what letter? I'm intrigued. Oh, you did that. Okay, because I was so confused. Cool. Okay, now I know. Nice. Because what happened was that right, so it was closing to midnight, so in game we kind of had curfew and had to be in bed. I didn't know where any of my friends were, or they were busy, and I was kind of lost and didn't know what to do, and was a bit like, ugh, okay, I don't know, I just get to my room and see we're good from there. And I saw this lying on my pillow, but I, for some reason, just assumed, I don't know why, that like some of the hotel stuff put it there, or that it was like Ida's stuff that she kind of put on my side of the bed, because we were sharing a big double bed. So I kind of didn't notice it. I like saw that there was something there, but I didn't think about it. And then I went to the loo, and there was this bin there, and I like looked in there and I was like, wait, why is there an envelope in our loo bin? And then I saw it had Olivia Fraser written on it, and I was so confused. I was like, what? What? And then I was like, oh wait, the thing on my bed. And I had completely forgotten that I was meant to be at this thing. So I went to my bed, I saw it, I was like, oh no, it's 5 past midnight, and I don't know, I forgot where they meet. Obviously, they meet in the mirror room, because it's Dances of the Mirror. But like, I completely forgot. So I was super stressed, and I was running down to the Chobok room, which is the off-game room. And I was like, where do I have to go? And she's like, let me look at my schedule. No, there's no such thing scheduled for tonight. I was like, blah, okay, I mean, I guess they meet in the mirror room. Where's that again? And then I had to like run there, and I arrived. And it was really cool, because we had, it was kind of like a dance lesson, but the fun thing about it was that we had masks on, and these masks were like magical, so you couldn't see who you were dancing with, which was kind of cool. And I danced with a very lovely Durentious girl. She was everything. We hang out later, and I always afterwards I was like, wow, I need to play on this. But because obviously we had no idea it was each other, and because this is meant to be a secret society, you couldn't just be like, oh, so guys, who was at the Dances of the Mirror on Thursday? So we didn't really find a way into that kind of plot, but it was still an interesting thing, and dancing was really that was cool. Yes, and I made it almost in time, so that's pretty, even though I forgot about it. but I was glad I went anyway. And then, oh, okay, next person to fangirl. After that, it was long after curfew, and we had to kind of get back to our rooms. But this was not an official thing that was happening, so we didn't get hall passes, even though teachers were there, but we didn't know teachers were there because they were masked, you know. So we had to sneak back, and I was sneaking back with this Durentious guy. I forgot what his in-game name was, with Dean. And we were taking secret passageways, and we were in the library. And then we hear someone opening the door, and we are just like, no, first night. And stupid as we were, we just decided to like stand against the wall and hope he doesn't see us. Oh, Leo was his in-game name, right? So Leo the Durentious. So we're standing against the wall, and like the janitor walks in, or I mean, the caretaker, because we weren't supposed to call him janitor. Janitor Morris, played by the lovely Tommy, and he was so lovely because he was like, "What are you guys doing here?" And Dean or Leo was like, "You don't see us. We are not here." And Janitor Morris just went like, "You have to be a bit more convincing than that, because I can see you." And Leo was just like, "No, I think I'm good." And then obviously we got points deducted because that's the lamest excuse you can have. But actually, even though that was the second point that Tommy deducted from me, or Morris deducted from me on the first night, he was actually such a sweetheart, because after that I went to my room and I thought people would be there, but everyone was still out and playing. And I felt so lost, and I wasn't ready to go to bed, but I also didn't want to lose more points, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know where anyone was, and I was really lost. So I decided to do the off-game thing and go back outside. And I sat outside, kind of a bit meh. Oh, he told you that? Yeah, it's the whole "I'm good" was hilarious. It's okay that we lost points for that, I feel like. But yeah, so we were sitting out, or I was sitting outside, and then Tommy shows up, and he saw that I was like, "Oh, I'm off character," and he was like, "Okay, cool." So he sat next to me, and we had a little bit of a chat, and I told him, like, I don't know what to do, like, everyone's gone, and I don't want to go to bed yet. It's the first game night, and I'm not ready to stop playing. So he was like, "Well, just come to the tavern with me." I was like, "Does that work? Like, I don't have a hall pass." He was like, "Well, I'm a janitor and also a professor, so if you're with me, you're cool, you're good to go." And we went into the tavern, and it was like almost only teachers there. And I was just like little Ollie in her school robe, just be like, "Hi guys, hello." And then I actually had a really good end to the game and went to bed a lot happier than I would have otherwise. So abuse of power. No, Tommy did such a good job, and he put my off-game fun over his in-game responsibilities, and I'm very thankful for that, because I don't know if anyone would have done that. I feel like a cow. Everyone is so lovely, but like, still, he made my Thursday night a lot better than it would have been otherwise. So the arts, yeah, he was a wonderful caretaker. Like, Jim, you're totally right. Tommy was great. He was also a very fun PE teacher, and he gave us a lot of points, which was great. And I'm very sad that I skipped PE on the Saturday, on the second day of school. I'm getting a dry mouth from talking. So on Saturday night morning. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the next story I'm gonna tell. Because Tommy was just so great. But first, on Saturday morning, I didn't get up early enough to do my makeup because it was, you know, with all the contacts, and so I went down, I think, even with my glasses on. I was just like, oh, I need to skip PE because I can't do my makeup before breakfast. Like, I just can't deal with this right now. So I had to skip PE. And I went up to my room and put my contacts in, did all my makeup and stuff, and I still had quite a lot of time left, so I decided to do my herbology homework. And that was actually really lovely because the weather was super nice, so I went to the dark forest and sat on the stairs and just did my homework there. And then I realized that right after PE, I had magical defense, which happens in the same place. So what does an intelligent person do? Not whatever Ollie did at that point, because she was like, well, gotta sneak in there, don't I? So she ran up to the gazebo, and then she saw the caretaker Morris, and I was like hiding behind bushes and like trying to sneak closer instead of just waiting for him to leave. But it was just so funny. I was just like just sneaking around, and obviously he caught me. And he's like, oh, care to join us? You're about half an hour late. And I was like, oh well, I've hurt my ankle, I'm really sorry, and I kind of can't take part in this class. And then 10 minutes later she was running around the whole castle, up the tower and down the tower, screaming for Professor Adams in magical defense. So great excuse, but again, he knew that I needed the time off game, so he didn't take points from me in game, which was very nice of him. He was very nice. And yeah, then the hello, it's Dion and Tiaka here, Jean-Baptiste Dupont and Darcy. Hello friends, thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, I have great healing skills. I actually had to save a junior who Phineas decided to stab with a sword. I did great healing. I also messed up. What's her name? And was her in-character name? She was Lilith, wasn't she? I also healed Lilith, but on purpose I chose a spell that took like 10 minutes to actually work. I was a great healer. I did healing at least twice. Oh no, I also healed Professor Jones. That's right. I was a great healer. I was actually just being a healer to have alchemy and make love potions, but you know, at least I knew some healing spells. So, oh yeah, the Molen. Yes, finally, let's talk about more Molen stuff, because I love this house so much. My family. For some reason, oh, Misty. Jones disposing of the silver-filled body of hurt was my favorite Cheyenne moment. I don't think I was there. Oh, I might have been there. Was I there for that? I was there for something like that. But yeah, Molen house meeting. I realized that one period I can't go to is the period right after lunch, so that's 4th period. And unfortunately I had mind magic, which I would have loved to go to, and Professor Lexi was probably really great, but on the first day I had to leave the class because I had such a headache and I just needed a breather and I just needed a break. So I had to skip it the first day, and then on the second day I decided just not to go at all. So I sat outside in the gazebo and there were some Molinians there, and then I sat down there, and then almost all the other Molinians joined. I'm not sure who was missing or how many we were, but like we were a lot. We had... Jim, were you there for when we skipped the class? But, well, there was definitely a lot of us there. And it was just Molinians as well. It was not like a mix and then a few of us. It was like just us. For some reason, all of us... Oh, you were cool. All of us decided to skip that class. Why? Coincidences. Coincidences, I swear, make this game so great. So yeah, we were all chilling out in the sun, just taking a break, and it was really lovely. And then Janitor Morris shows up, and the funny thing is, he didn't want to take points from us because we were skipping class, but what happened was that they didn't have enough senior guardians, I think it was, for PE for seniors to happen. A lot of them were prefects as well, so they had other things to do, and he didn't want to do a class for like 2 or 3 people. So the seniors were supposed to go to the other classes that were happening in the same time slot or something. So he was coming to the gazebo to check if people were stupid enough to show up for PE and not listen to instruction. So he didn't want to take takes for skipping classes, he wanted to take points for attending classes that were cancelled. But luckily, with us being almost the whole house and having our prefect there, we were just like, huh, what? We're not doing anything. We're having a very important house meeting. See, our prefect is here. We're doing very important house bonding stuff that is definitely more important than going to lessons. Yeah, the fact that Natanya, our prefect, was there was, yeah, that saved the day for sure. So he was just like, okay. Let us be. And then we had some more chill time in the sun, which was very lovely. And yeah, so janitor Morris was wonderful. I saw the question about what PE lessons were like. I don't know what he did for the other years. For sophomore, we basically did sword fighting. Obviously on the second day I wasn't there, but it still looked very much like sword fighting from what I saw. And on the first day it was just yeah, different things with the swords, and we had to it was mainly like, if I attack from above, how do you defend? And if I attack from the side, how do you defend? And it was kind of a warm-up to the magical defense class that we had right afterwards. And that's what he said as well. He was like, so for the healers, and I'm not sure if it was also the guardians, like 2 paths had PE and then magical defense. And he's like, yeah, you guys, this is going to be a warm-up. I'm going to get you ready for Professor Adams. So we did sword fighting. First thing in the morning. Ooh, it was a lot harder than I would have thought. It was a proper workout, and with the wig on and everything, it got very hot very quickly. But it was a ton of fun, and it was really cool to see. Let's get to the next person to fangirl. It was really cool to see Fletch, because Sam does fencing in real life, and his posture and just his footwork was on point. Everyone was very impressed. He was like, oh, Fletch, oh my god, you're doing such a good job. And which is cool to see, because Fletch was a crazy character. Basically, he was a Newt Scamander on coke. Is what he was. He was very interested in magical creatures. Maybe a little bit too much. He's the type of person where you're just taking a walk in the forest and then he's like, did you guys hear that? I need to check that out. And then he's off. And you don't see him again until he comes back with some kind of creature that he found. Yeah, Fletch was beautiful. He was so much fun. And at one point before class, there was like still this ritual circle left, and we were all like, don't step in that, you don't know what it does. He was like, no, I'm not stepping. And then he stepped in it. Obviously that was Fletch. And I love Fletch. I wish we would have interacted more, because we had kind of a background story, but it was just really cool to have him around in classes and stuff, and he added a very fun aspect to the game and to the classes. That was really cool. So what are people saying? Emily is saying, Ollie fancied Jay, who had a severe crush on Natanya, who was dating Quincy and knew nothing about how Ollie or Jay felt. The magic fuckery. Yeah! Yes, the magic fuckery. That was this game. But, yeah, man. It was, I feel like a lot of these things that happened were like really fun coincidences that you couldn't have planned for. that made this game really great. Things where you were just like, what? How did this all fall in place this perfectly without planning? How does that? What? And that's what actually makes me believe that this castle is magic somehow. I know it was way more fucked up than this. It was, the whole story was a lot more fucked up than you could put into 100 characters, which is why I'm making 3 videos about it. Because it's, yeah, so Ollie had a crush on Jay and on Robin Brooke and was also deeply in love with Gabriel. And Robin Brooke didn't care for her. Gabriel hated her. Jay also kind of hated her, but thought it was funny to gaslight her. Yeah. These stories are, yeah, fuck. I feel like, what's anyone else, like, I know that like Rebecca Richter was also in like a love thing with Gabriel, and that made like all the drama between us happening. Not enough drama, sadly, but like there was still kind of bitchiness between them. But like, I hardly saw anyone having like actual love drama, or like weird love triangles and stuff. I feel like, from what I've seen, like, I don't know if I was just very focused on myself, which might have happened, or if I just had kind of the monopoly of love drama. I would love to hear some more love drama stories at some point if someone has any. There was, I lost my train of thought. There was just something I thought of to talk about drama. Just Ollie, but it was, yeah. Oh yes, right. Which I thought was really cool. We had some real celebrities at this game, who were absolutely lovely. The 2 American actors, Chad and Courtney, who played Chase and Jade. And they were my classmates. We had every class together, and they were super cool as well. And they had some weird love story going on. I don't know how it played out in the end, but they were actually in game together because she had put a love spell on him, and he was completely oblivious to the fact that she was hexing him, and she had to renew that spell every year, she said, and that's why they're together. And Ollie was like, nice, good job for hexing your boyfriend to actually like you. I don't know what they did with that, but that's definitely some drama that had a lot of potential to go badly. But I haven't really talked to them since the game, only a little bit, so I know how that happened, but that was cool to see that Ollie wasn't the only one who completely disregarded the fact that love spells and love potions are not consent. And I mean, for those of you, some of you might have read my post-lab story of her applying for alchemy professor, where she's actually married because she keeps drugging a boy until he proposed to her. So don't take lessons from Ollie for real and apply them to your real life, please, because it's not a good idea to drug people into marriage. No. Love spells are taking matters to your own hands. I mean, oh yeah, the hiring methods, and Shoha is just like, you're a bit fucked up, aren't you? It's fine, we'll hire you anyway. So for those of you who are not aware, I don't know if anyone's here who isn't, but Cow 20 Ollie is the main villain. Well, I'm trying to go for Professor, if they let me, and maybe. No. But what was I saying? What were we talking about? What? Oh, the hiring methods. Yeah. So for you who are not aware, Sam Fletch kind of started the trend of, I'm gonna write a story where I apply with my character for a teacher position. So Fletch applied for bestiology professor, and then Stephen made a story about Ash applying for technomancy professor. And then, of course, I had to jump on the bandwagon and apply with Ollie as alchemy professor. And then we also kind of waiting on Neil to write his story about Zeke applying for runic magic professor. And these stories are really cool and a good post-game activity, I feel like. What are people saying? Hello, are you a demon, psychotic, a drug dealer, or flat out emo with the biggest heart possible? Join the store, all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I'm not, guys, I'm not gonna get arrested, and I'm not gonna spike anyone's drinks. I will, however, be teaching love potions in alchemy, but only because, you know, I've already thought out what to say, and I'm definitely gonna be like, so, love potions are not consent, and you totally shouldn't use them. But if you're set on using them anyway, use them in a safe way. So here's how. So yeah. Why should we not drink anything in Cow 20? Well, because with Ollie being alchemy professor and having all the resources from the alchemy lab, people are probably very scared that she will put love potions or other kind of potions in people's drinks, which she totally only did twice at this game. So I feel like that's a very unfair claim, and everyone can drink whatever they want at Cow 20. Okay? Okay. So I will be bringing Ollie back, but she will be calmer without Jay or Gabriel around. It will be all good. I'm sure there's no way she can find a new love interest. Or, you know, focus on Professor Brooke and go crazy again. See? Oh, Ollie only prison. I love that. But yeah, twice is fine. It's fine. Yeah, I hexed one letter and tried to slip a potion in someone else's drink once. But it could have been worse. I could have hexed all the letters. I could have tried to hex Professor Brooke, but I was too scared of that. Right, we're talking about my character the whole time. I wanted to do this to fangirl other people, and two of my favorite people to fangirl, which I do the whole time. The crazy alchemy professor who spikes drinks sounds like a fun concept, though. I mean, I probably will. But Gil, while you're talking, my two favorite people to fangirl, or two of my favorite people, because I love fangirling everyone. Gil and Will, my two goblin buddies. And I feel like all of you that are here from Cow will have heard these stories a million times, because I can't shut up about these two goblins. But I just love them so much. And I had one of the funniest nights of my life with these guys. So before the game, Ollie was very much meant to dislike the goblins, because she just likes pretty things. She kind of likes a few weird people, or people that she would consider weird, but like goblins, she would be like, no, they're just, you know, they have weird ears and they just look really ugly, and I don't want to be friends with them. And that's what she said at the beginning of the game. She kept going on about like, ew, who are these goblins? What do they do? And then I met Pop and Clip Clop. And these goblins were the best thing ever. The first time I met them was in front of the Faust common room when I was stalking Gabriel. And I was like, I had my hood up and I was like hiding and looking inside. And then these two goblins show up. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, just like, I want to go into the common room, but I can't because I'm not Faust. And then it started. Oh man, it started. Because they kept going on about, so you're not fast enough. And I was like, no, I'm not Faust. You know, like the house Faust. So yeah, you gotta be faster. No, I need to be in Faust. Yeah, you're not fast. Like, Faust. No, I need to be Faust. And I don't know how long we kept going with this. but it felt like half an hour, and it was so funny. And these two were just, so I'm not sure exactly what their background story is, but Pop was a goblin who fought in the Goblin War and had lost his nose. And Clip Clop kind of changed in the first day or so, and he was became this very like woke goblin. He was goblin woke. He like kept pointing out how people were racists towards goblins, and how goblins didn't have enough rights, and how like Will was able to turn whatever anyone said into you're a fascist and you hate goblins and you think you're better than us. And the second time that I actually hung out with these goblins was, I don't even know, was it Friday night? Must have been Friday night. And I was with this Scottish lad, Rob, who was playing Ezra, one of the Sendivogius prefects. And we were just chilling outside, and then these goblins show up. Again, Pop and Clip Clop. And we sat in the gazebo, and Pop was overly optimistic and cheerful, but also kind of a jerk, pulling really petty pranks and stuff. Oh yeah, the pranks. He's like, you've got something there. Boop! Yeah, Pop was hilarious. He was, I wish I could impersonate the goblin voices, but I really can't. It's just like, Pop! No, I really can't. But, oh, they were so funny. And then we sat in the gazebos for ages. And, like, even when the game was over, Will would not break character. He just kept being this goblin. And it was super fun. So, yeah, thanks for making Ollie like goblins, because I had no other chance than to like you guys. I mean, as I said, I've said this a million times, but it's one of my favorite parts of this game was these two goblins, and like all the other goblins as well. Like, before the game, I have heard quite a few people say that goblins are kind of a bit too much, that you can't avoid them, that they're annoying, that they kind of break the game here and there. And I had nothing like that. Like, I can't say a single bad thing about these goblins. They were absolutely fantastic. And it was great to have them around, and they added a lot to the feel of magic, but also to the atmosphere that the school had. It was, you know, we had like a kind of the start of a rebellion happening at the school, because the headmistress put some rules in place that were a bit too much. And the goblins put like the posters back up that we ripped down, but like they puzzled them together completely wrong, and they printed out their own rules that were super silly. And when someone wrote like protest stuff on the bridge, they had like a water bucket and cleaned it up. And just seeing them work for the school, but at the same time not really against the students, was a really cool kind of middle ground to the whole hierarchy thing. 19, and it was amazing my feather from the rest of the night from all that laughing. Yeah, totally. And I couldn't stay in character, like I was staying like a pig. Really, I love the goblins so much as well. They seem to fit perfectly. Yeah, they did a fantastic job. So I applaud all the goblins for messing up letters, shouting at the headmistress, making me laugh my ass off, and just being good chaps, good people, good goblins. While we're on the matter of fangirling NPCs, I have to give one more applaud to Rob, who played Professor Greenbottom and a lot of other things, but like Professor Greenbottom. And while fangirling Professor Greenbottom, I have to talk about Phineas as well, because god damn it, Phineas! That guy messed me up, like both of them together. I did not get it. I'm just gonna tell the story from my perspective, because I know there was a lot more going on with Professor Greenbottom, but for me it was I didn't get. I kind of saw this beginning of the story. So Professor Greenbottom was fired on the first night. He was the former bestiology professor, and then he got fired. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's gonna get fired. Oh no, Gil. Okay, at least you were here for your fangirling. So I hope you have a good night. And it was lovely that you joined us. Thanks for being here. So yeah, I didn't really think about Greenbottom. I was like, oh yeah, he got fired, whatever. I mean, my character was like, how can she just fire a professor? But I was kind of, I didn't know that who he was or anything. So I then met Phineas, who was in my class and seemed to be Phineas just seemed to be like a very nice guy. He was Ascendivogius as well, I think. And he was very charming. He was a bit cocky. He was like, oh, I'm a natural, I can do everything. But, you know, he was cool. And Ollie might have developed a little crush on him, just a tiny one. But, like, he was cool. So when he was, on one of the days, he was like, oh, guys, let's go down to the lake for a study group. And he was like, sure, let's go down to the lake for a study group. And it was a bunch of us, and we all just went to the lake. And obviously off game, I could tell that he had some NPC meeting arranged. But in game, obviously, I didn't know that. So we were just chilling at the lake, and like he was like, maybe if we go back up, something interesting might happen. We're like, okay, cool. And like this whole group of people kind of just accepted Phineas as their leader, because everyone loved Phineas because he was so charming. And then he was like, guys, do you hear that? And there's someone over there by the lake. Let's go and check that out. So we went. Oh, it was so hard to get down there, though. We had to kind of climb along the shore and get, like, further left and then back down to the lake. And there was Professor Greenbottom. And, like, Phineas and Professor Greenbottom, they hugged, and it seemed very lovely and, like, a family reunion. And Greenbottom was so nice as well. And everyone's like, yeah, why did he get fired and, like, replaced by this scary woman with a spear and who's, like, leading arms, the kind of racist club, and, like, what the fuck. So we're totally sold on Greenbottom. Like, we loved him. He's like, yeah, there's this vampire plague, and, like, we have to stop this. And I don't know what's going on, but I've been doing some research, and but my experiments are in the castle, and there's a magical ban, so I can't get into the castle. And we're like, okay, what can we do? Like, shall we get the experiments out? No one but me can touch them. Like, okay, what do we do then? And then he's like, well, meet me at midnight and get me into the castle. And all of us were like, sure, yeah, let's get this fired professor into the castle, because he's Phineas' friend, and we all love Phineas. And and then I kind of dropped out of the plot. I missed going there on midnight. I had other things going on. Nothing suspicious here. No, not at all. We completely, like, we thought the headmistress was the evil one, so it would make sense to put an evil bestiology professor in place and fire the good guy. That completely made sense. And it wasn't like I completely missed what happened that night. And then I was, the next morning, before magical defense, I was chilling in the gazebo. Hello? Oh, I think it's working now. Sorry about that. Someone decided to call my phone. Yes, we can hear you. I think it's working. Maybe? Okay, I seem to be back. So I was perfect, cool. I was chilling in the gazebo with Lena, who was also, again, this character, and Just the person behind it, and just like Lena was beautiful. She looked great. Her character was amazing. We got up to a lot of shenanigans, and it was great. But yeah, so we were chilling in the gazebo, and she was like, "Ollie, did you hear what was going on with Phineas last night?" I was like, "No, what happened?" She was like, "Maybe we shouldn't be friends with Phineas anymore, because I feel like he might be very evil." And I was like, "What? Our Phineas? Never! Phineas is lovely. What are you talking about?" And she's like, "No, the whole Greenbottom thing. It's you. You're here. Now I see. Oh, yes. Hi. I'm fangirling you now." Yeah, so, yeah, so Lena was like, "Yeah, no, Phineas is super shady." And I was like, "No, he's not." And like, "Yeah, like Professor Greenbottom is the evil one." And Ollie could just not believe it. And she's like, "No, he's not. No, whatever. I'm gonna talk to Phineas. This can't be right." So at the next mealtime, I actually went to Phineas. Or actually, Phineas was sitting at our table for some reason. He was like, "Oh no, I'm a Cindervogius, but I'm gonna sit at the Molen table, whatever." So I talked to him and I was like, "Phineas, Lena said you were a criminal." Very good job, Ollie, by just, getting to the point. And he's like, "You're a criminal?" "What? I'm not a criminal. Why would I be a criminal?" And he was so charming. And like, even I, off game, didn't understand what was going on. Diane. Will, hi! You forgot, you missed the parts, where I was fangirling you. Is it good audio quality or shit audio quality? Also, me spilling half my tea over my body by being distracted while drinking. Cool. Yeah, that's what iPhones do. That's good to hear. Cool. So yeah, I was talking to him and he was like, "No, sometimes, is it still a crime if you do it for the greater good?" And he was like, "Well, if it's illegal, it's a crime." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm doing it for the greater good." She's like, "Yeah, but you endangered the whole school by getting Greenbottom in here." "Yeah, but sometimes you need to sacrifice a few to help the greater good." And I used to say, "Sacrifice a few? You endangered literally the whole school. What are you talking about, a few? Like, what do you mean?" And yet she still liked him and almost asked him out to the ball because he was just so charming. And like, the way Seth played him was just like, it was insane because it took me forever to understand how shady he was. And I don't think I got the whole picture of his shadiness until after the game. So kudos to him for like keeping this face up. And even beforehand, like, I had workshops with him where we were getting to know the characters and everyone was like telling a bit of the secrets about the characters, so we could, because we would have known each other for a year because we're in the same class. So we would have had our junior year together. And he said nothing about this. Nothing! Like, I had no idea. He didn't mention it. At first, I thought he was just a bit like, I don't know. He's like, "Oh yeah, my character's just a natural at everything and he can do everything." And I was like, cool. And then this whole thing happened and like, I was like, what? Like, Phineas was probably one of the most surprising characters to me, as well as Jay, but Jay basically just because I had a very different idea of how our relationship would go and how Jay would behave towards Ollie. But yeah, Phineas was crazy, and I wish I would have seen more of the whole Greenbottom plot. But I kind of missed out on a lot of things, which is a lesson I've kind of learned. Like, I've learned a lot about my LARPing style from this game. I'm very jumpy, and I jump from scene to scene, and I tend to enjoy relationship plot more than magic plot. But I feel like I was maybe a little bit too focused on my own stuff going on, and that's one of the reasons why I want to come back as professor if possible. to be able to give more play to others as well, and to maybe make it more fun to others and not just pull everyone into my plot, but also be able to help with their stuff. That's kind of my intention to do for Cow 20, which I've already bought my ticket to. Oops. So yeah, I've got, yeah. Who else do we need to talk about? Who else is worth of fangirling? I feel like everyone. The teachers that I heard were amazing. I'm very sad I skipped on Mind Magic because I would have loved to see Professor Lexi in action. Oh, did you actually? Because I loved that scene so much, but at the same time I was also always very conscious about people around us, and I was like, hopefully we're not disrupting anyone's game. And I feel like that's why we moved around so much as well, to not have this whole thing play out in one place. And I'm glad people actually enjoyed it, because at the after party I asked people, and a lot of people said no, it was great, the drama was fun and stuff, but I was a bit scared that people around us would have been a bit annoyed by it. So it's really cool that you say you weren't. Because yeah, while I was very focused on my own stuff, I was also trying to not make it all about me, and also give other people their space. That's kind of what I was trying the whole weekend, and I'm glad to hear that I succeeded. And yeah, gossip is kind of my strong suit. I don't know how I will ever play a character that is not the Gossip Ghoul, because I feel like the Gossip Ghoul is just... I mean, I could keep going being the Gossip Ghoul and not have the character be the Gossip Ghoul. I feel like that would be a little bit less fun, but it could still be very fun. I might do that in the future. I don't know. But yeah, Gossip was great. So, teachers, yes. I missed out on Mind Magic. So, I only had 5 teachers. I think relationship plots create just as much play for other people, and you can't be involved in everything that's going on. I mean, that's true, but still, going to a magic school, it would be cool to do a little bit more magic than I did, maybe. Besides from classes, I had like 2 or 3 scenes that actually involved magic, or the magical world at all. So I feel like I want to do more of that. But if I become professor, then maybe there will be more magic, and I will think of cool stuff. Did anyone actually know that Ollie was the Gossip Ghoul? No, but apparently there was a rumor going around, and people were talking about the fact that Ollie is the Gossip Ghoul. Like, apparently, sometimes when Ollie would enter the room, people would be like, oh yeah, that's Ollie, that's the one who's the Gossip Ghoul. But no one knew for sure. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but I made sure even in pre-game to be like, guys, let's not reveal this until I'm ready to reveal this, because if her friends had heard about this, she would lose them all. And I had so much drama going on with the whole boy and love stuff that friendship drama would have been just too much. And even though I spent hours and hours and hours writing a diary that then never got used, and I kind of wasted a lot of space and energy on that, but I was still glad it didn't come out that she was the Gossip Ghoul, because that would have taken over my whole game, at least, and would have been just a bit too much. There were a few things that I'm glad didn't happen, even though they would have been cool. But they would have... I know, I mean, I'm just so happy with how this game went and how it all fell in place, and I wouldn't change a thing about my storyline and the things that happened to me during game. So I'm okay with everything that didn't happen. But yeah, no one knew 100% that she was the Gossip Ghoul, like, not even her closest friends. And that's something that not even Gabriel would know, even though he knew all her secrets, because she only became the Gossip Ghoul after they've met last time. So, no, except from Ollie, no one knew. also very funny, because I didn't want to spend a lot of time sneaking around putting up the post-it notes with the rumors. I kind of tried to do that off game, but because I always for some reason had my other hand, like I had a cup or something in my other hand, but I needed to do the off game sign so people would know, and instead of, you know, doing it like a normal person, do this, put the sticker on the wall and then do this again, I always dabbed my head against the walls. I always had like the post-it note in this hand and then I just went like this against the wall to put them up. And I ran around the hallways doing this, just so people saw that I was off game and no one would be like, oh, there's the gossip boo putting up post-it notes. So that was quite funny. Yeah. Teachers, I was talking about teachers, god damn it. Yeah, the teachers that I had were amazing. I had Janitor Morris for PE. Then I had the amazing Edwin Adams in Magical Defense, who was also very shady, and it took me a while to clock on. I was like, oh, he seems to be cool and proper and just a very normal teacher. 5 minutes later, hit each other with swords and like, I mean, if you cut someone's leg off, you have a few healer students here, right? It can be fixed, no worries. I feel like Edwin Adams has some issues as well. And then I had Professor Deliel. Does anyone know how to pronounce it? I'm sorry, Teufel. Deliel? Professor Deliel? The herbology professor, who was also really cool. I loved his lessons and I loved his whole deal. Professor Deal? No. What? Who? He was, whatever his name was, he was, his whole attire was just, the way he looked and the way he was just so cool. He had such a cool look to him. And I loved his professor, like Orion. Yes, Orion. Let's call our professors by the first names, it's fine. He was really cool. It's not that we had any like really intense scenes or actually any scenes besides from class, except from like talking once or twice maybe. Shut up, dude. Yes, I know who the alchemy professor is. Yeah, natty waistcoat, smooth tailcoat. Yeah, oh, he looked amazing. He was just really cool. And then I always skipped runic magic to go to technomancy because it made a lot of sense in game. Because Ollie hated Professor Bell or was like scared of her because Professor Bell was a murderer who got arrested before the end of the game. So Ollie did not want to go to runic magic. So instead she went to technomancy with the wonderful Professor Willow Jones. And I don't know if we have to talk about Willow Jones because everyone loves Willow Jones. And it was so cool to get to play with Cheyenne. And she was, man, I mean, we hardly had any lessons. The first lesson on Friday, we discussed how we could get a body for Jonathan the Friendly Ghost, who was possessing Gabriel, which was very weird. And Ollie was just like, oh, can we use a dead body? No, that would be necromancy. Well, can we put him in a teddy bear? So that was the lesson. And then on the short today, we had to save her from a hell dimension. So technomancy was not really lessons, but it was still a ton of fun. And then for the last lesson of the day, my favorite, alchemy with Professor Brooke. Oh, Professor. No, I actually loved alchemy so much, and I'm really happy that I made alchemy her favorite subject, because I loved alchemy, and I completely understood what was going on, and like, because Will had given me, because I was working hard on researching for the pre-game assignment that he gave us, because he totally didn't tell me any of the answers. Why would he? I was working hard on that, so I knew how alchemy in his way worked. So I was so into alchemy because I was like, yeah, I understand the elements and then sulfur and salt and all the things, and I understand. And it was really cool, and we won the competition on the second day because we're the best. And it was just so much fun, and I loved the cellar, and I wish I could have taken every lesson with every teacher, because I've heard great things about all the others, and I'm really scared. It's really sad that I missed out on the Huntress. And I'm sad that I missed out on Professor Duncan Flamel, who was such a cool vampire, and like all the others, I would have loved to go to every lesson. It's really sad, but I just live through the stories of the others. Yeah. I also like ritual magic. Like, everyone was like, oh, we're doing these cool rituals, and I was like, yeah, I'm not, but I would have loved to. So I feel like our staff was really cool. And while speaking of staff, of course, how can I forget the fangirling of the wonderful Headmistress Hemlock. Headmistress Hemlock was just a pure delight. She was like, I did not interact with her, but having her around was so cool. Like, even on Choha book, long before the game, she already put an impression in all of our minds. Like, not only by liking every post or comment that anyone made, except from if it was racist, well, hexist, or like against werewolves or something, then she would not like it. Or sometimes the Gossip Girl stuff that was really mean, she wouldn't like. But everything else she just liked. Like, she was sitting there hitting the like button. She even liked her own comments. Like, this woman was insane. But also, like, the comments she made, and she was so naive, and she didn't know how to use a computer, so she wrote in caps lock most of the time from the beginning until the head guardian came to show her how to turn caps lock off. And she posted pictures of kittens, and she was just this really lovely old lady that was just such a delight. She was so lovely. And then suddenly the game starts and she's like, you're fired. Also, these rules. And then tomorrow, these rules. And then I'm like, just really mean. But every time I saw her, she was just like, she had a handbag like this in front of her. I was just like walking around like this. And I was like, hello, headmistress. Hello, headmistress. And she would be and just run around. And she was just so cute. And I wish, oh yeah, she banned pizza. How dare she? And Potion Pong. I mean, she also wanted to, like, totally poison the werewolves. But damn, she banned pizza. How dare she? Yeah, and she did such a good job in, like, portraying this sweet lady and, like, making sure that everyone knew that she was so sweet. And then turning into the whole fascist. Why did she ban pizza? Yeah, I mean, does anyone know? Basically, the demon, was it a demon? The image, she had hired an image consultant who kind of had a bit of power over her, and he made her introduce all these new rules. And I really loved the rules, just from like an off-game perspective of how they were made. By always having like, oh yeah, we're banning pizza. Also, all werewolves need to take liquid silver. An entity threatened the soul of her deceased sister. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Right. It was, yeah, it was something to do with her sister being, her soul being threatened. I remember something like that. Something to do with her sister for sure. Yeah, the way it was always a mix of like funny, silly rules, and then we're gonna kill all werewolves. And the way they increased as well, where it was like, oh, so all werewolves need to put that on their student record. All people need to put their blood status on the record. All werewolves need to take liquid silver. And it was just, yeah, I don't know what demon did what. I was not involved on any of that, so I kind of lost track. Yeah. Molen rebellion against the Bloodstones was amazing. Yes. So the prefect had to compile a list the prefect had to compile a list of all the blood statuses in the house, like for every person what blood status they had. And the Molinians, I still think our first idea was better, but the second one was even good, was good as well, because the first idea was to write every name and then write next to it Witched, but then we were like, no, fuck that, we're writing every name and then Hexblood. No matter what blood status they actually have, we just wrote Hexblood for all of them. I don't know what the other did, but yeah, the whole play that the headmistress kind of made possible was incredible. Making a plot like this that was kind of a rebellion plot, but that didn't take over the whole game and kind of ruined it, but like, it was just so perfect. Like, the way she did it and the way the prefects acted and the way everyone worked together, it was a really nice atmosphere and a very specific feel to the whole thing, and it gave us like this feeling of unity and like standing together, standing up for something and standing against like all these things that were happening, but at the same time it didn't turn into a major revolution where no one could do anything else. It was just walking through the hallways and like seeing the ripped down posters and like seeing the posters of protest and seeing the chalk marks on the bridge and like having something to talk about the whole time as well. It was just it created such wonderful play, and that all of this came from the sweet old lady. It was just it's like it was so good. The chalk on the bridge was very brilliant. The pizza was one of the old rules that was originally put in place because students had ordered like 50 pizzas from the mundane restaurants. Really? What? That's really funny. Where did you hear this about the pizza? Did she say that? Like, did I just forget about it, or where did you hear that? Because that's hilarious. Yeah, unity, diversity. 5 houses, 1 school. 5 houses, 1 school. No, it was actually, I loved how it pushed the houses together, and the dynamics between the houses were so beautiful. Like, of course, the bird alliance, 2 houses, 1 stone, no, 2 birds, what, how does it go? 2 birds, 1 stone, 2 birds, 1 nest. Oh, during the junior question round, I see. That's really funny, I did not know that. Cool fun fact. But yeah, the houses, damn, the bird alliance was strong. But then also all the other houses, like we were one family. And in the end, everyone was cheering for Durentius because they didn't come last place. And even though Molen was very determined to win the few hours before the ball, when Faust got the house cup, we were like, yes, bitches, yes, Faust earned it. It's totally okay to be 2nd place. Yes, it was lovely. And again, now I can at least fangirl Jim a little bit because everyone loves Jim for being Molen and jumping into the fireball pit for Faust. JJ, he's our man. If you can't do it, Molen can. That was great. It was just yeah, it was I'm getting all feelsy again. It's just, man, and as I like said in my video, for those who have seen it, it's like not even just the people that I've talked about now, where I've definitely not fangirled everyone enough. Like, I should be talking about Emily for like 5 hours for being this amazing prefect that made our house what it was, and like Jim for jumping into being prefect in the end, and like there are like 10 million more. Joss, my little junior baby, who I loved so dearly and who was always there in the right place. And there are like so many more people that what I'm trying to say is, feelings. That even though I'm like trying to fangirl everyone I've interacted with as much as possible right now, even though there's too much love to express it, but even the people that I've hardly spoken to, that maybe were just, you know, part of a group where I was talking to someone else, like just everyone in this game, even people I haven't talked to once. Without them, this game would have not been the same thing that it was. And it was yeah, no, every little junior and every goblin and everyone made this game incredibly magical. And sorry, I'm getting hit by feels. I need more tea. My tea is almost empty. Damn it. But yeah, it was what I found very interesting, to be a bit informative and not just feelsy with this video, is I did a ton of research before going to this game. I prepared for College of Wizardry for 15 months. 15 months. I bought my wig in January 2017. And I watched every video I could find on the internet, like every video. I searched every social media site for the hashtags. Like, I read the design document 5 times. I went through everything. I knew almost the whole playlist on SoundCloud by heart a month before the game. Like, yeah, Jim, but you did come as a surprise, and that was lovely. And I think you did pretty well for having 2 weeks to prepare. Well, I needed 15 months, okay? And I did all the research I could find, and I planned for this character, and I was like, these are the things I want to do. And then once casting happened, you were a very lovely surprise, the best surprise ever. So was Emily. And I was like, as soon as casting happened, I jumped into the relations planning, and things changed a lot during this whole planning process, but like I felt like I knew what this game was about. I knew what was gonna happen. I was prepared for all the feelings. Like, I thought I knew what happened. I didn't. I had no idea. What is really weird to me is that I wasn't as emotional as I thought I would be during the game. Like, I didn't cry once at the castle. I didn't even cry for 2 or 3 days after I got home. I was I had a lot of fun, and I was deeply in love with every single person at this game, and I was missing them a lot, but I didn't have this wave of feelings. And I was like, what's going on? Huh, weird. And then it hit me. And then it wasn't like, oh my god, the feelings, It hurt. It was actual physical pain in my heart from not being there anymore. And I still have to be very careful sometimes and keep my mind on something else, because it hurts. It's very painful. It's very worth it. The pain is very worth it. It hurts. And one of the things I feel like that hurts the most is that meeting you guys, meeting the people at this game. I met a lot of you beforehand on Discord and Facebook, and I talked to a lot of people beforehand. And it was always like, hey, we're gonna see each other soon. Yay, we have something to look forward to. We can see each other. We can see each other soon. Only a month left. Only 2 weeks left. And I was like, crap. That's it. We saw each other. We met. We hugged. We played. We had the best time of our life. And now, what? So that's... Oh, Misty. Yeah, it's really hard. It's very hard to come back into real life, and I'm glad that everyone is really putting effort into staying in touch. And like, what I really feel like this community has that not a lot of people have is that they're so open with their love, and they like show someone that they appreciate them, and it's not like, hey dude, what you up to? It's like, dude, I just wanted to tell you that I freaking love you, mate. And I just hope I can stay in touch with everyone. And it's really, I've not had this much love in my life ever. I feel like this community is insane, guys. It's your fault. You're making this happen. Feels. I have my goth look on. I should be like not feeling much. Guess makeup doesn't help with that, does it? So yeah. Damn, this game. Am I right? But yeah. Don't even know. Oh, guys. Tears are goth. Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh, I love you too. I love everyone. Oh gosh. Bye. I'm dead. No, it's incredible, and I feel like I need to talk about more people, but yeah, I don't know, man. There's just so much love, and I can't find words anymore. So maybe I should wrap this up at some point, because I'm just overwhelmed by feelings. Can I just relive the moments of Emily doing hand hearts to the crowd as a liquid sword? Oh yes, right. Now I know. Like I knew I needed to talk about Emily more. But I'll answer that question first. What kind of character do you plan on being next? So right now, what I'm hoping to do, it's all not set in stone. I obviously need to have my fingers crossed for what the showbox decide in casting, and also my financial situation. But I have booked my ticket for Cow 20, and I am planning on bringing this character from Cow 16 back as Alchemy Professor, if I can. If not, I don't know what I will do. If I'm gonna bring her back as a senior or just play a completely different character, I have no idea. Kind of depends on who else is going as well. And then for one of the November runs next year, which I'm hoping I will be able to afford, me and the lovely Anya are gonna play Vampire Sisters. We have a very, very cool concept about two vampire sisters that will be a bit different to your normal vampires. But when do you ever have a normal vampire? Yes, you do. Yes. Please, come to 20. I would love that so much. Everyone, let's make 20 the 16 reunion. Yes, I will make the alchemy cellar very pink. That's my plan. I'm definitely, you know how you have like, my space button is kind of disappearing, whatever. Before the game you have the NPC request forms, right? And you have one for teachers. And from what I understand, maybe former teachers correct me if I'm wrong, you can kind of put requests in for the stuff you need as a teacher. So I will literally write a request saying, please use whatever means necessary to make the alchemy cellar as pink and girly as you want. Or as you can. Just make it as pink as possible. And then I'll see if they do that. But I would love to have a pink alchemy cellar. And I'd definitely be like, but make it, like, I want to keep the feel of the alchemy cellar, but make it Ollie, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are my plans so far. And then I also, wait, what did Jim say? Don't actually buy all the people, equally to all the people. I'm also started watching an anime today, which is very unlike me, called what is it called? Little Witch Academia. And there's one character in there that I kind of would like to bring to Cow, but I don't know if I could pull it off, or if that would be too much unlike me. But I will put it on the list of, on the very long list of possibly future LARP characters. But yeah, these two definitely. But there are lots of people from America. I mean, I know it's pretty expensive and a very long trip, but people do come from America. It is possible somehow. I don't know how they do it. I can't imagine flying over to America for a LARP, but people do it. It's possible somehow. But there's also New World Magic Scholar is still a thing, right? So there is a Wizard School LARP in America that you could attend to as well, and I think that's pretty cool as well. Yeah. So Emily playing NTJ, my auntie. Natanya. What a prefect, man. What a prefect, and what a beautiful werewolf as well. And she had, I'm gonna do 3 moments of Natanya. The first one being told in the Knight's Hall during announcements that werewolves would have to take liquid silver. And everyone's eyes just shot around to Natanya, and she was like standing there, like so angry. And I think she screamed as well, right? And I was like, no, and got like really angry, and it was so intense. I was just sitting there like, what? No, they can't do this. They can't force the werewolves to like drink liquid silver. That's just not fair. Oh, it was so lovely for you to join, Rob, and for convincing me to do this. Thanks for giving me the confidence to actually sit here and do this thing, even though I was very nervous. I hope you have a good night. So yeah, it was, man, that was the first moment where everyone like came together and was like, what the fuck, you can't do this, you can't like poison our friends. Like, we have so many werewolves here, and like, you're not going to poison them if they don't choose to poison themselves with liquid silver. And that was already, like, that moment was so cool, already. And then the liquid silver scene. Whew. I mean, that was something. I didn't see the beginning to this. I was, yeah, that's the third one that I was gonna get to. But yeah, the liquid silver one, I was at the fireball match, I think it was junior tryouts, and I was head cheerleader, so I was down there and I was cheering with my green pom-poms and like shouting, and suddenly Jay runs in. And he was like, guys, I need the house together. I need all the golems. Like, we need to go up there. Natanya is bleeding from, like, every crevice of her body. And, like, she's dying. And, like, we need to get there. And I was like, what? But cheerleading? But, like, fireball? But, like, okay. And then I ran back up to the castle. And I entered the library. And, ooh, the sight. There was Natanya sitting on this chair with, like, blood everywhere, like coming out of her eyes and like her ears and her mouth, and like blood everywhere. And Professor Brooke, the alchemy professor, who was also the healer, what is it called, monitor? Is it the healer monitor as well? So he was like the boss of healing. So he was like doing stuff and like forcing potions down her throat. This potion called Purge, which makes you sweat out the poison that you've taken, and it's incredibly painful. Path monitor, yeah, for the healer path. So she was sweating out liquid silver, and the way the two played, it was, oh man, like, it was so intense. I couldn't do it. Ollie was just standing there like, what the fuck? She was like super scared for her friends. Oh gosh, oh that was like super scared for her friend's life, and like, but I don't think I played a lot or like reacted a lot. Because I was just so in awe of like this scene that was happening. Like off game, I was just like, wow. It was so like, she screamed and Healy was like, hold her down, like forcing this potion down her throat, and like, oh, it was so cool. Oh, how do scenes with fake blood work? That's what I've been wondering, because I've not really used fake blood a lot for my vampire. I think she went to the storage room or to the Chubbuck room or something and applied it off game, and then got back in game, and like pretended that she was out hunting deer. So I don't know how it happens when you actually like. I was thinking about how this would happen in a feeding scene without like breaking immersion. Maybe someone else can tell me about it. Oh, did I? I grasped your hand and pulverized it. I don't remember that. Maybe that was just me and not Ollie. I don't know. That scene was incredible. So what had happened was that she went out to hunt a deer. And that deer was filled with liquid silver, like pumped to the brim with liquid silver. Oh, I mean, that's good. I can't remember what I was doing, because in my memory I just see this scene. Oh, paparazzi'd heavily. But yeah, that was intense. She almost died, but Robin Brooke, my hero, my love, he saved her. Which is cool. And I feel like some people actually had to leave the room because the scene was so intense. That's what Emily told me. But yeah, it was an incredible scene. Definitely brought the students together even closer. And I was wondering, on one of the posters, I saw a picture earlier, it was the poster that had the rule for werewolves need to take liquid silver, and there's a bloody hand on it, and then it says their blood, our blood written on it. Is that actually Emily's blood, like Natania's blood on there? Is that from her hand, or is that something else? Because I was wondering. But I love, oh, that poster looks so cool with like proclamations, werewolves have to take liquid silver, and then it's just the bloody hand and it says their blood, our blood. And it's just like, oh, that was Jason. Oh, hi, Ida. Have you been here the whole time? Have I said hello to you? Hi, Ida. Oh, okay, that was Jason. But that poster looks so cool. And in my head, it was like Natania trying to get to the library, like almost dying, and then like trying to like get against, like, you know what I mean. So that was intense. And then after some cool students, who wasn't me because I don't get a wolf and stuff like that, but after some better students banished that entity that was threatening the headmistress, she was like, all rules are revoked, and then she started reading a list of what rules, and the liquid silver one was revoked, and she took it back, and everyone fucking screamed. Like, it was during announcement, everyone went crazy, and Emily actually told me that she couldn't hear what rule it was, or I think the headmistress was just saying the numbers. Oh yeah, I've been talking, oh man, you are not here? I've been talking about you for the last like 20 minutes. But yeah, so they were just saying the numbers, so we were all a bit like, what? Which number was the silver liquid rule? But because everyone was screaming, we just knew it was that. And then Tanya was like making the love hearts, and then everyone started howling, and just everyone was like clapping and screaming, and the relief that everyone felt in that moment of like, our friends are safe, we stood together, we did this, our school is saved, and now we can just fucking have fun. It was an intense moment. What are people saying? Oh, I motherfucking luckily cried. Yeah, I get it, man. You were... it was so cool. I loved it. Oh, jeez. That nearly brought me to tears, and this year was supposed to be rather cold and unemotional. Totally fucked that up. No chance being cold. Oh, yeah, that was crazy. And like, I feel like I just felt them, like, for me it was kind of for me it was like kind of the Molen house spirit, because it was the Molen prefect. How do I explain this so it makes sense? But like, we had the Molen house, and you were like Emily was like the core of our Molen house, and and then it extended to the house, and then this spirit of like we're family and we stand together expanded to the whole school. Obviously the school stood together anyway, and it was not Molen making them stand together, but from my point of view, where I was a Molen, I was like, yes, our spirit in like the whole school. And then Winkley gets hot, we get harder. Oh, I miss chanting that. Stop it. Stop. Also, I don't want to make anyone cry. I'm sorry. Oh, yes. When Jim was like, oh, guys, the J is prefect now. Everyone was like, yes, go for it. Yeah, nice. You're totally accepted. Yeah, who else would take Buffy's place? Like, it gotta be Jay. We just stood together, man. Oh, my Molenians. Guys, family. My arm is not long enough to get my Molen. Damn it. More family. Jay will pay. How many people here have viewers like me, and how many classmates wanting to reminisce? Yeah, it's probably a lot of cow 16 people here. That is true. This live stream was kind of meant as like me mainly fangirling a lot of people and getting my feels out there. But if you want a more informative video that is less me just talking about my wonderful memories, I will, after my YouTube series, or at least after the story bit has come to an end, I want to do another live stream that is more like a Q&A and more actually talking about how the game works and dynamics and tips and tricks and stuff like that. Right now, I'm still, even though it's like already 2 weeks ago, I'm very much still just overwhelmed with feels. So I kind of needed this ranting and just reminiscing, but I'm very glad you're here as well, and I hope it's not, I hope you can kind of follow. Yeah, but I mean, I'm very happy about all the people that all my Cow 16 people that come to support me. It's very lovely. Yeah, but there will be a more informative live stream if you're worried about that. When the feelings have come down. I think I can save this as a video. Yes, I think that should work. I've never done this before, so I don't know that. But I think, yeah, from what I know, I don't know if I have to decide that it saves or not. But I will definitely keep this as a video on my channel if I can figure out how to do that. Yeah, because you need to go back and watch my fangirling of you. For sure. Oh, they automatically save. Perfect, then I have nothing to worry about. Cool. Yeah, so Emily, you can go back and watch this again. The parts that you've missed. But yeah, I just... I feel like I gotta... Unless anyone... I mean, I just enjoy listening to these cool stories and I hope I can join. Yeah, do it! Like, join! Everyone join. Oh, okay, Misty, it was wonderful that you were here. I miss you a lot. We should chat more. Bye, favorite drug dealer. Yeah, I can also totally recommend joining for everyone. Like, for me, the amount of money spent on this seemed ludicrous and insane and not like something people should do. But, yes, we should buy Choha. But I've, like, with costume and everything, I've spent about 1,000 euros on this game, which is more than you need to, but I did. And, wow, it was worth every cent. And looking back now, I would have been willing to spend more on it as well. if I was able to. I was kind of getting, yeah, no, but yeah, Cow is crazy, and I don't think a lot of people go there once. So if you go there, prepare to be addicted and come back, even if you can't afford it, like me. But yeah, but I'm glad, even though you don't know what's going on, that you're enjoying the stories. I was trying to tell it in ways that even people who weren't there would understand what's going on. I see it's how it can be very confusing with all the names and stuff. If I could redo one thing in my costume, what would you do and why? I love my costume, but I think I would work harder on the ball dress. It's kind of a Frankenstein mix of different things that I put together to make it look like a dress. And it's not quite the way I imagined it to be. So I would probably start over with that, and make it a bit cooler. Maybe more layers. It has a lot of layers. I mean, I don't know, you can probably, wait. For those of you who weren't at the game, let me see if I can, not kill. It's, right, of course, this had to happen. Right, you guys, I've just killed my whole room. I knew this would have happened at some point. It's okay though. I'm okay. I just need to put my light back off. And my phone is not broken, so that's a good sign. Yeah, I can imagine. God damn it. So, for those of you who weren't at the game, this is my ball dress, kind of. The black part turns turquoise by being a weird Frankenstein thing. But talking about layers, yeah, these are all the layers of tulle that I sewed on there. Yeah, also there's all my Ollie stuff because I'm filming some outfit videos tomorrow. Okay, I need to... Oh yeah, thanks for doing that, Ida. That was... Oh god. Sorry about whatever's happening right now. Oh no. Right. I guess... cool. Give me 2 seconds with putting my phone in, because this is not going well for me right now. Right, okay. Sorry about that. Yes, everything broke. I'm fixing it right now. There we go. Which reminds me of the funny fact that everyone thought Ollie was meant as a very clumsy character, even though she wasn't. That was just me. And I kept getting stuck on stuff with my backpack, and I kept losing my hat. And I kept tripping, and everyone thought, oh, Ollie is such a quirky, fun, clumsy character. But it was just me. So, what are people saying? More layers. Yes, come to Denmark with your ball gown and have a naughty nice thing. Yes! Help me with my ball gown, please. Please. I would come to Denmark for that. For sure. Yeah, then everyone's just laughing at me. Oh, yeah, Ida, thank you for sorting out that dress. That was a very lovely clip club. No, I'm spelling it with a C. Everyone should spell it with a C. Clip Club doesn't know how to spell correctly. He's only a goblin. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's make do a meetup in Denmark. Apology accepted. For those, again, I'm getting up. I hope I'm not breaking anything. For those who weren't at this game or didn't see the pictures yet, to get an idea of what goblins are like, this is what Clip Clop was like. This is my friendship book that I made people fill out in character, and Clip Clop and Pop, lovely Pop here, filled it out. It's very funny. I mean, it's. Let's talk about this on. Let's make a chat about this and talk about a Denmark meetup, because I feel like that needs to happen. I wanted to go to Copenhagen anyway. So was Cow your first? Yes, the Faustian May ad, and then was Cow your first lap? No, I've done LARPing before, in a much more small environment with less people and more of an intimate event kind of thing, not at a big castle. And also Cow was the first time I did Nordic LARP, and Cow definitely showed me that Nordic LARP, which is LARP very much focused on character play and not on fighting or political decisions or stuff, but like just feelings and characters, is the only LARP I ever want to do again. Nordic LARP, and especially Cow, is just very wonderful. And even though I've been LARPing before, this was the first time I actually felt immersed in a world, and like I became the character, and I've never had so much fun. Even though LARPing with my home LARP is still fun, and I love my Viking dudes and stuff, but like this was something else entirely. Almost knocked it over again. Well, it's not like Clip Clop is a traditional goblin name with a rich cultural history to it or anything, but I'm just a goblin. What do I? Will, stop it! Stop it! Guys, stop talking about meetups. Otherwise I'm gonna get into planning, and I just bought a ticket for Cow 20. I don't have money to go to Denmark right now. But yeah, let's talk about that. Let's find a way to talk about that. Anyway, I've been almost up for 2 hours. And are there any more stories you want to hear, or any questions you have to ask? Or you want to ask? No, you have to ask. Otherwise, I would wrap this up. But I'm willing to answer more questions if people stop talking about summer meetups. If your question is who's the alchemy professor, it's Robin Brooke. Also, soon me. What did I think about your prefacting, pros and cons? Do I have any cons? I don't think so. You please saved Molen for me. And even though at first when I first went into the Molen common room and saw the characters that were playing Molen, I was worried that the characters wouldn't get along and that it wouldn't make sense to be the family house with this arrangement of characters. But I feel like all of us did add to this. But you definitely did a wonderful job to pull everyone together. And you definitely had the, from the chanting alone, Netania had the best, fighting spirit, I feel like. And was always, you were a very strong leader, I feel like, that was also willing to show weakness and kindness when necessary. And I don't know, Netania was just so cool, but then also, she did show her emotions, and I feel like that was very much what Molen was kind of about. And it was you did a perfect job prefecting, and I'm so glad you are a prefect. Stop it! Don't cry! I just love you so much. Would you go to any of the other Wizard School Labs? Yes! Yes, I would go to the other. I'm going to stop talking about you, Emily, so you can stop crying. I definitely want to go to Avalon because Avalon looks so cool. I don't have money. I don't have money to go to Avalon or to any of the other labs. I would also love to go to Fairweather Manor, even though that one makes me a bit worried about costuming, because I don't feel like I have the skills or the money to do that, but I would love to go to Fairweather Manor. Basically, if I could afford it, I would go to every Choba game there is. I want to go to Skulls and Crossbones. I want to go to Convention of Thorns. I'm going to go to Fairweather Manor. I want to go to Avalon. I also would love to go to New World Magic Scholar, even though I know that's not thingy. But Bothwell. I want to go to Bothwell. For sure. Also, there might be an Irish one arising at some point, maybe, and I will go to that one if I figure out how. So yeah, no, I would love to go to all the events. Unfortunately, I will not be able to afford any of them. So it's just secret. It's just maybe at some point, at somehow, maybe no. But yeah, no, I can't afford that right now, but what I'm doing is I'm gonna apply as helper for Convention of Thorns. So secret, because not everyone has been talking about this already. So yeah, no, if I could go to all the events, I really would. But right now, if someone gave me an extra 500 quid and was like, what lab do you want to go to? I would love to go to Avalon, which is, for you who haven't heard about this, Avalon is in the Cow universe, in the College of Wizardry universe, but it's hardcore. It's like, it's not in castle, it's intense, like outdoorsy, and it's like you don't have houses, you have like war clans, like it's very intense, and like people get broken to be rebuilt, and that sounds just very scary, but also like I want to do it. Oh man, I should stop knocking. So what are we saying? It's not like we have a magic prison in the works or anything as well. Hello, let me go to the magic prison one too, because I was one of the first people who said that's a good idea. So as you guys can see, there are lots of more magical stuff happening in the future, and I will be broke for the rest of my life. Gosh, I wish lab was less expensive, but alas, it is not. And I have decided a while ago that with the limited amount of money that I have, cow will be my priority for now. And as much as I would like to try out the other Choba games, or other games in general, I'm gonna focus on College of Wizardry until I'm rich as fuck. Yeah, people spend more money than they have on this game. So, for you who have never been, be careful, it's dangerous, but also please come, because it's amazing. Yeah, no, oh, this game. But yeah, if that's all questions answered that don't have to do with a potential meetup in Denmark, I might head off. But this was so much fun. I was incredibly nervous beforehand. I was very, very nervous that either no one would show up or I would have nothing to talk about, but I should have trusted in my abilities to talk for 2 hours straight without taking a second break. We want a break for a second. Thank you guys for saying it was a good job. That really means a lot. Thanks for joining, everyone. Stop being nice to me. It feels see, that's what happens when you're nice to me. Then I ruin everything. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Let's talk about this meetup soon. And especially thank you to everyone who wasn't at Cow. I mean, all the love for the people that were at Cow, but like for the other people joining, thanks for sticking through this rambly mess that was me being an emotional mess. No, Neil, don't be mean either. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm dying. Hugs all around. And I will do this more often because it's super fun. And whenever I have something to talk about, Thank you. Stop! Ow. Oh, I'm gonna hide behind this. Also, I'm gonna yes. Nerdy niceness. Is yes. We need to yes, please. I mean, accept that little collaboration that's already in the making, right? Because I will film that video tomorrow for the collaboration. But yeah, I need to edit that bloody travel video for Cow, and I applaud everyone who's making videos on the go on the daily, because oh damn. So I will see if I can do something on that today or tomorrow. But yeah, videos are to come, and I'm so excited. But for now, I will end this here. Thank you all so much. All the love, all the hugs. Although I'm really bad at saying goodbye, but like I also don't know how to end this, so I feel like it's a bit weird. How does one end? Do I just press the X on the top? Probably. I will try that. So yeah, thank you. Okay, bye. Bye.